this is Phil Lilley, Lilley's Landing Resort and Marina on Lake Taneycomo. We're going to do one cast this morning. Jackson and I have boated up here just above the Narrows. It's Tuesday, May 31st, and the water is off. There's no generation. It's before 6 a.m. and they're supposed to leave it off till about 8. It's pretty amazing since the lakes above us are still pretty high. Table Rock's 922.5. Supposed to start getting some rain tonight, tomorrow. But until then, I get to come up here and play a little bit. And I think I was going to throw a micro jig, but I'm afraid I lost my toothpick out of my float. And then I might have a float. Yeah, let me get a toothpick. I do have one. Yay, I got a toothpick. Sometimes your toothpick falls out of your float. So I've got a micro jig. It's a micro jig that we are starting to tie. It's a knockoff of a Turner micro jig. This one's an orange head with olive marabou. 1/100th ounce. 6X tippet under a float about 4.5 feet. It's got a little chop on the water, which is amazing for this early in the morning. We have not seen no generation. Ooh, fish are really coming up midging. When I boated up here, there were a lot of midges on the surface. And a lot of midges hitting me in the face. And of course, I catch one on the first cast. It's pretty much a given, I think, right now. There are a lot of fish up here at the Narrows right now. There are a lot of big fish up here too, but the guides have said that they've been able to come up and catch what they call the eaters along with the bigger fish in the trophy area here in the Narrows, because there's so many smaller fish here. Some of them are really small, like 7 inches. This one's about 10, but he's really pretty. He's not a Neosho fish. He's a Shepherd of the Hills fish. I can tell by the color. Normally, a Neosho fish is going to be pretty silver. There's not a lot of reds, not a lot of color in them. I kind of like to just stay down here on the lower deck because I think I'm going to catch a lot of fish here pretty quick. Maybe. I say that and we'll catch another one. I also want to throw a 32nd ounce jig while I'm up here. He's a little more silver, but he came off the hook a little quick. the breeze is kind of from the north, so it's pushing me away from the narrows. I was kind of wanting to fish from the top of the narrows down. That's okay. I can hear a lot of fish midging hitting the surface around me. A little better fish. I think I'm gonna net him. Yeah, this is some fun fishing when they shut the water off like this, and you can come up and throw a jig and float. Man, he does not want to give up. Still doesn't want to give up. Golly, fish, come on. I'm just about ready to get that hook out. You squirm again. Do it again. He's not that big. Wow, some good fish up here, midging. Whew. Can hear them all around me. A zebra midge, I'm sure, would... Ooh, there's one out there. The zebra midge would really do good up here too this morning. So you could target these fish. You see them come up and eat a midge off the surface, you could throw a little zebra midge under a float 6 inches. So those fish are up cruising on the surface looking for those midges. Kind of losing my chop, but that's okay. Still, so I'm giving the fly just a little bit of action, just kind of pulling the line a little bit, twitching the float. I think I'm gonna throw a jig now, because maybe I can catch a little bigger fish. Well, they're pretty though. Pretty little rainbows that'll grow up to be big rainbows. There we go. All right. Might throw a zebra mitch here in a little bit. Yeah, I've got a sculpin and ginger with a sculpin head on this one. A 16th ounce jig probably would work too this morning. Man, they are going to town. Wow, that's a nice fish that just came up. First time I threw it out, I worked it real slow. Second time I was kind of giving it a little more action. I think they might want it moving around a little more. He didn't fight much. I am using 2-pound line. I'm not sure if I said that or not. Missed one. Water I'm fishing's about, at the boat it's about 4 foot deep. Out where I'm fishing's probably up to 6 or 7 foot deep. What do you see, Jack? think I hear the first boat coming up. When the guides, before the guides, they're all set up to probably drift fish, so they're gonna have to redo all their rods. To fish this, I just missed one. To fish this water being off, they're gonna have to change everything. I think they're supposed to run 1 and 2 units later today. The rain's not supposed to come in until tonight. One more cast. I'm gonna try something else. Ah, I just missed another one. You gotta turn around and throw the other way. Yep. Be pretty. Really pretty. Look how pretty that fish is. Beautiful fins. Orange. Orange and red. Let's try one more. I think that's, yeah, I just missed one. I think that's Steve Dickey. I need to put more line on this reel. Do line. That's why I can't throw very far. That might be Captain B. Okay, I'm gonna go to something else. See what else I can find that the fish like. See you tomorrow. Thanks. I've decided to come back and do a little bit more on video. I've tied on a red number 14 zebra midge. The camera has to stay here. You can see it. It's got a copperhead. And I've got it about 2 feet under the float. Can you hear that fox? There's a whole family of fox up there that are playing on the bank, 4 or 5. Now they're starting to bark a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll just get a whole bunch of line out, throw out a random place. But if I have one come up within casting range, then I'll pick up and I'll throw at it. I've turned around, moved a little bit closer to the narrows because I kind of want to fish it. It's the first time the water's been off, and I don't know if it was off. I can't remember if it was February. Geez, man, he came way out of the water. That was fun. I might have to go a little deeper if they're not going to be quite as active as I want them to be. I was a little late on that one. Yeah, I see his bubbles here. He went that way. Sometimes when they come up, they get a mouthful or they get a bunch of air in their mouths, and when they go down and they swim, you can see the bubble. They kind of leave a line. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go a little deeper on the midge. Throwing out about 30 feet or so. You don't have to throw out too far if you're just fishing a random place. He's not too big. Oh, he came off. That's good. They're not eating it very hard. The float is just barely moving. I'm not too sure about this camera. Sorry. This is a little neosho fish. Ah! There you go. Not a lot of color. He's got some color in him, but for the most part he's pretty silver. I don't even think that one got down to the bottom of the... He didn't let it sink all the way. It's a little better fish, but not, he's not big. Yes, I have way too much leader. I probably have a 12-foot tapered leader, and then I've got a whole bunch of tippet added to it, which is not necessary. Sorry. I could probably do this for the next hour. The sun isn't going to hit this area probably till about 9 or 10 o'clock. So it's going to be in the shade because the sun's coming up over here. But the water will start scheduled 8 o'clock, so. And you have to change tactics. One thing I haven't tried is a scud, but they're feeding on these midges so actively that no real reason to change. I don't move the zebra midge as much as I do the jig. And if I figure after less than a minute, if they don't pick it up, I'll just cast another spot. I don't leave it in one spot very long. Unless there's a, you know, some current, just a little bit of movement in the water, and then I'm kind of moving. But there is no movement at all right now in this water. I think they shut the water off about midnight, so it's been off for quite a while. That was a nice fish. I saw him down under the float, just saw him turn. Nice fish. My float didn't move, so I didn't set the hook. I moved the float a little bit and he nailed it. But not quite good enough. Oh, he was there. I didn't see the float move. Yeah, I looked down and then he took my float under. Uh-oh. Yeah. Line had a loop in it. Oh, gosh. They're starting to get a little bit picky. You know what? I need to check that hook. I've missed 3 or 4 or 5 in a row. When that happens, you need to check your hook, make sure it's not bent or even broke. I guess it's okay. Okay, I'm gonna switch to a scud. Just for the fun of it. It's another Neosho fish. Call them silver bullets. And they tend to stock them smaller than Shepherd does. We'll be back, I guess. It's gonna be a long one cast. So I put on a number 14 gray scud. It is weighted. And I've moved down into the narrows where the water's quite a bit shallower. As you can hear my trolling motors hitting the bottom. I'm not seeing the fish that I would generally see on these flats, though. You usually see them cruising these shallow flats in the gravel looking for scuds, but I'm not really seeing that many right now. I've kind of beached myself a little bit here. I think I might go back to the zebra midge. It's weird. I'm not seeing a lot of fish here. Okay, I'm going back to zebra midge. I'm not liking what I'm seeing as far as fishing a scud right at the moment. Unless, let's just try this real quick. Let's just go deeper. Get out in the channel a little bit more. Fish out there where I can't see. It's too deep. Try it for a second. Now the bite on this is just, that float's just going to vibrate just like that. So that was the trick, I guess. Get out there a little deeper where I can't see. A little better fish. You want to try to keep your fly line out of trouble on the deck. He's a fatty. About a 16-inch rainbow. Big old fat thing. So I am fishing, I don't know, did I move it up 5 feet? And I'm probably fishing 3.5 to 4 foot of water. So that fly should be kind of dragging bottom. I'm gonna have to really come up here and look at this real close, because it sure seems like this has gotten a lot deeper. So I'm moving this float about 4 or 5 inches every time I lift up my rod tip. Just kind of swimming that scud a little bit and then let it sink. I keep looking for a gravel bar that should be right here, like a shallow gravel bar, and I haven't seen it yet. That float just, a couple little rings came off the float. That's all it takes. You can look at the flyer once in a while and make sure it doesn't have any green stuff on it. Still not seeing a whole lot of fish. Was it, like I said, it's, you usually come up here in the Narrows and you see a lot of fish. Whoa, I'm standing on my line. And it's around my cleat. Okay. Oh. Okay. Go after a bigger one. There's a nice fish. Little one. Good eater. Probably 11 3/4. Nice and fat. I might run out of battery before I say goodbye again. I've already said goodbye once. It's kind of hard to end the video when I'm still catching fish, and I still am hopeful to hang a pretty good sized fish in here. And it's pretty unbelievable that I don't have any more company up here except Captain B. I can tell you one thing for sure is that zebra midge would have caught a lot more fish this morning as far as numbers. And you will catch a big fish on that if you know, keep fishing it. But I like to try a variety of things just so I can go back and tell people what to fish with. Wow. I think one more cast, I'm going to go back to a zebra. I should say one more fish. This could be one more cast. Well, I bet the guys up below the dam are having a blast. Wade fishing up there. There got to be tons and tons of fish up there. Okay. I'll put something back on. Okay, I put a white megaworm on, and they're blowing the horn. I had to put a little bigger float on. It is not quite 7 a.m., so they said 8, but it's going to be 7 this morning. This megaworm's on a little jig head. Got about 4.5 foot deep. I'm going to fish this channel. It'll probably take 20 minutes for that water to get here, which I don't have that much video left. I can see the megaworm under the float, and I've already seen it move twice, like a fish swam by to look at it, but never ate it. And I could tell that was not a normal megaworm. It's not one of our store-bought megaworms. Somebody tied it on and the whole worm just came off. So I'm gonna have to tie another one on. I'll tie a yellow one on. I don't have another white one. That fish grabbed the white chenille when I set the hook. It pulled it right off the hook. It's hard to say what those fish think this is, but in dead water it's pretty effective. And for some strange reason it tends to catch big fish. I hear another boat.